Then there is another subfolder called demo. And there you have the whole exercise when it is done with solutions. And then
I think Jan.
تجاريته قال لي ما ريت اليوم يقرر انه بعد روايه وافي الان كشهادة قال انه وافي حسب
Hello, I'm not. Are we hearing Jan?
No, we've lost him.
So maybe let's wait for a few minutes to see if he will come back.
Samson, in case that we have lost Jan for now, should we move on to one of the country presentations?
Yeah, we can proceed like that. Yeah. So I don't know if the representatives of Kenya are there. Anyone from Kenya? So yesterday they was not connected. Okay. I think Lesotho. Lerato, are you connected?
Yes, I am here. I'm connected.
Yeah, please, can you proceed your presentation?
Oh, okay. All right.
Okay.
Okay, let me just start by sharing my screen. I'm not sure. Okay, let's see. Is it visible now?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Okay, thank you very much. Good morning and good afternoon, colleagues. My name is Lerato Makana from Bureau of Statistics in Lesotho. I'm just going to share a little bit of experience of using NADABAS in Lesotho. So like I'm saying, it's a very short presentation. So I'm just going to introduce and then talk about our rebasing and revisions, as well as the experience of the National Account staff on the use of NADABAS. So before we used NADABAS here in Lesotho, we are using what we call SNAPC. I'm pretty sure a lot of countries would remember that. It's an Excel system that has systemic links between the Excel workbooks, right? So because of the problems that were already identified in breaking of the Excel, the office. Sorry, Samson, there's a bit of a background noise. Could you please?
Yes, I think there's still okay. I think now it's okay.
All right. Okay. Thank you. So, like I was saying, because of the challenges that were identified in Excel links, the breaking of the links, the office therefore sought assistance in developing a database that would make or prevent the loss of information between the workbooks. Hence, the introduction of NADABAS in 2007. This was a sub-activity of a project that was sponsored by the European Union at the time. That is where, therefore, the national accounts were rebased and revised. At the time, we were using our base year was 1995, and that was therefore updated to the year 2004. Here, that is where we introduced new data sources, such as the VAT data. And also these revised estimates that we compiled then were brought back to 1982. Let me just say that bringing them back to 1992, we're not using NADABAS at all. We just used linking to do that, right? So these estimates included the annual GDP by economic activity, as well as expenditure, and also the national income and the rest of the world account. These estimates were therefore published in 2008. Now, coming to rebasing and revisions, these were initiated in 2014 with the support from the International Monetary Fund. To remember that we said we had our base year as 2004, and at this point, we updated this to 2012. We therefore included new data sources here. We had the 2013-14 economic activity census, as well as a 2010-11 household budget survey. These estimates were therefore brought back to 2007. You remember I said the previous ones were not using NADABAS, but the estimates of 2007 now we're using NADABAS. Now, subsequent to this, the office embarked in another project, which is the development of quarterly GDP estimates. These were now developed using NADABAS. These were done in 2017, 2018, and the first estimates were published in 2018. And as we speak right now, we are compiling our quarterly GDP estimates without a problem. And at the end of this month, we'll be publishing the second quarterly estimates for the year 2021. Now, the experience that we have in using NADABAS, we have currently 5 members that are working on the national account estimates, and each of them have NADABAS installed on their computers. Now, 4 of these members were engaged in the design of the links during the implementation of quarterly national account estimates, which is the hardest part really, where we learned, I think yesterday, that the hardest part in this is actually creating the key families, designing the links. This is really rather a hard experience that would actually need you to keep on doing until you get it right. One of the members of the national account staff is fairly new in the section, hence he does not have that much of an experience, and we hope to bring him on board on speed. Now, NADABAS is actually working well, but then, like I'm saying, we need more capacity building. This is a necessity, like I'm saying, mainly on design. That is the hardest part that we've actually come across. Well, apart from the design, the staff is quite comfortable with the operation of it. It is very easy to trace the errors if they are there in NADABAS. And I think I would say that initially, before the website was introduced, we were rather depending on remote assistance from the developers. If we had a problem, we'd have to call them and see if they could fix it up. But now that there is a website, it's quite easy to go back to the documentation or trace, juggle around the website and see how to trace the errors that you have. So it's fairly easy now. It is really easy to fix the errors if they are there, right? I have already mentioned that previously we were depending on remote assistance of the developers for updating the system. But now that we have a website available, for whoever is registered on the website, when there's a new version available, we would get the version there. So it's fairly easy to get it, right? So now, NADABAS that is installed on the network would actually improve the operation. But for Lesotho, that has not been possible. I think we have internal issues at the office when it comes to network connectivity. But if you had a very good network working, if you have an internal server that is really working well, it will be quite easy to operate NADABAS. But then even so, even on individual laptops, it's not a problem at all. The only issue is that you might have to have, I would say, a mother computer where after compilation of everything else, you have to take it to just one computer just so you could have the same estimates, right? This is the end of my presentation. Like I mentioned, it is fairly short. Thank you very much for your kind attention. Samson, are you there? Have I been talking to myself, or is anybody there?
No,
Samson?
no, Lerato. This is Lars speaking. Thank you very much for that.
Sorry.
Oh, no, there he is. I thought they had network problems.
Nash. Yeah, sorry, I was muted. Now it's okay. So
Okay.
thank you very much, Lesotho. So I don't know if Kenya is there now to make the presentation.
Yes, Samson, I can make the presentation.
Okay, go ahead, you said.
Samson, can you confirm you can see this my screen now?
Yeah, but go to full screen so that you can see very well. Yeah, now it's okay. You can proceed.
Okay. Thanks. Okay, good afternoon and good morning to everybody. This is a presentation from Kenya. It's a short presentation on adoption and the use of NADABAS, the national accounts. Briefly, the implementation of NADABAS in Kenya, it started in 2010 when Kenya embarked on a major revision of its national accounts. Prior to the adoption of NADABAS, Kenya was using the SNAP-PC system of national accounts on a personal computer, which was largely, of course, an Excel system. But the NADABAS, during that revision period of 2010, is when we started using NADABAS for the first time. That is when our base year was moved from 2001 to 2009. And then that was the period that we got a large number of data sources. We have the consumer price index, customs data, government data, and all of them were organized in NADABAS for easy access and in interaction. The revised and rebased national accounts, which was compiled in NADABAS, were published in September of 2014, and it included annual estimates of GDP by the production and expenditure approaches. It also carried the quarterly estimates of GDP by production. Expenditures, we did it, but we didn't publish. There was also a supply and use table for the 2009 base year. Later on, we also embarked and we estimated our we published the first series of the regional.
Just we cannot see your screen anymore. Can you share again your screen?
Okay.
No, just are you still there, Kenya? I think
can you see it now?
Yeah, now I can see it. Now go ahead.
Okay.
Yeah, please.
So I was saying in the national account system, it carries both the annual, quarterly, and the supply and use table. At the same time, we have now incorporated the estimates of our regional GDPs. Commonly in Kenya, we call it counties, and we have 47 of them. So the system itself, it was very handy. It was very important in this case for us to do all the 47 counties in one system. So NADABAS actually came in very handy. Again, in 2017, we started another phase of revision. And of course, it was agreed as we changed the base year from 2009 to 2016 because we had new data sources that we had to incorporate in the system. However, the structure of NADABAS and the Excel workbooks, there were not much changes with them. So we adopted, we replicated what was there before, but with very, very minor changes, which were as a result of maybe increased number of industries. Then we have results from intermediate surveys of households and enterprises, all of them now organized in NADABAS. The new revised estimates, of course, we just published them last week. And it includes both the annual and quarterly estimates of GDP, including the supply and use table for 2016. Currently, we are in the process of doing the regional GDPs, and it's work that we intend to maybe complete it by close of the year. With respect to our experience in NADABAS, here in national accounts, we are a team of 6 members. 3 of us with a bit good experience, 8 years working with NADABAS. The capacity to operate and design NADABAS, because the staff have been having capacity building for some time now over the period. And
global business. I know you received a dime.
Sorry?
No, please go ahead.
The system has been working without problems for us, not so much. So in very rare cases, we have asked questions and support from the team. And so far, it has not been possible to get the system working on the local area network for us. So we still work separately and then we bring the files together. So that has been the main challenge. If that one, we incorporate the NADABAS system in the local area network, I think to us, it will be a very good thing, and it will going to make our work easier than maybe having to combine the Excel workbooks every now and then. This is a screenshot of our system, our menu, NADABAS menu. So what you can see there, we have the county C, we call it the county calculations of the various activities. And then now we generate the results in the county R, where we have the aggregation of the estimates. And that's where we get the tables for publication. Now the menu on data is all our data from surveys are put in the system in that menu item called data. Then we have the industries, all the industries, economic activities in Kenya, products. Of course, now for us, we do both the production account and the product flows. Then we have Q, GDP, that's where we have the quarterly GDP. So all the activities are in that menu. Then you have the supply and use table. And all of them now we aggregate. The tables that we publish, we generate them in the menu called the tables. So we just run the tables and we get the format of the estimates that we want to publish. So that is basically all and what we do in Kenya. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Kenya. So now I think we move to Namibia for the country experience on using of NADABAS. So Namibia. Namibia. Okay, I think while we are waiting for our colleague from Namibia to join us, maybe we can now proceed to Mozambique. Mozambique, are you ready to make a presentation?
Yes, we're ready. So,
are you from Mozambique or Namibia?
I'm from Mozambique.
Okay, go ahead, please.
Let me. How can I share my? Okay. You can see my.
If as we are going to speak in Portuguese, if
now it's supposed to see my presentation.
We can see, but there is a lot of background noise.
Ok. Boa tarde. Eu chamo-me Helder Mabai, from Moçambique. Não estou aqui sozinho, estou com meus colegas. Vou fazer o share da experiência de Moçambique com o NADABAS. Contudo, os slides estão em inglês. Assim vai facilitar a compreensão dos outros.
Mozambique, please wait, yes. We don't have a French interpreter.
Yes, wait. Okay, it's okay.
I think Mozambique, you can proceed now.
Maybe I have to speak slowly. It's better.
No, yeah, but it's okay. It's okay. Go ahead now.
De introdução, diria que o Moçambique produz e publica o produto interno bruto em 3 abordagens: a da produção, da despesa e a compilação é feita de acordo lógico do sistema de contas nacionais. Atualmente nós estamos a implementar o sistema de contas nacionais de 2008. Esse processo foi iniciado a quando da mudança do ano base 2009 para 2012, há sensivelmente 4 anos, 5 anos, após a revisão de atividades estatísticas, como os censos das empresas, inquéritos, orçamentos familiares e outras pesquisas que julgamos necessárias com vista à melhoria das fontes de dados e obter informação um pouco mais qualificada nesse caso. Para além das contas anuais, também produzimos as contas trimestrais na ótica de produção e somente a preços constantes. A nossa série vai de 2000 a 2001 e sensivelmente há um mês atrás publicamos no segundo trimestre do ano 2021 nesse caso. No entanto, estamos a trabalhar no sentido de produzir e publicar contas trimestrais na ótica de despesa, tanto a preços correntes como a preços constantes. Neste processo, estamos a introduzir as contas trimestrais dentro da plataforma NADABAS. Neste momento, somente as contas anuais são compiladas com recurso ao NADABAS. O consultor, Dr. Ed, estamos a ajudar a identificar, a sistematizar os dados provenientes dos vários suppliers, criar os produtos, programas de atividade, setores, tabelas de resultados, e a nossa expectativa é que até o próximo ano possamos publicar o produto final. Moçambique aderiu à plataforma da NADABAS em 2014 como resultado da cooperação bilateral com o projeto ScanStat. Esse projeto era um projeto nórdico, conjuntamente com as agências nacionais de estatísticas da Suécia, da Dinamarca e da Noruega. Tivemos a ajuda dos consultores, como já, o Dr. Ed, o Dr. Professor, e este processo coincidiu com a mudança do ano base 2001, com a mudança do ano base 96 para 2003. O objetivo era integrar os ficheiros de fontes de dados, indústria, produtos, setores, tabelas, numa plataforma ou numa base de dados que permitisse que se reduzisse ou substituísse os links entre as diversas plataformas, entre as diversas planilhas de Excel, por links entre ficheiros do Excel e os da base de dados. Assim, um ficheiro de trabalho em Excel pode-se fazer o load ou salvar a informação diretamente no banco de dados. Este sistema está hospedado em um servidor. Este está sob a gestão do Departamento de Informática, Tecnologia e Informação, as TICs, nesse caso. Ao abrir um ficheiro de Excel, o sistema NADABAS faz parte da grande de ferramentas, é uma das várias ferramentas do menu, e encontra-se estruturado em 6 dimensões. A primeira dimensão diz respeito às fontes de dados. Aqui é onde se faz o arrolamento de todas as fontes de dados registradas no sistema. A segunda é das operações, a terceira, produtos, a quarta é das atividades industriais, a quinta é dos setores, a sexta é das tabelas, aqui é onde obtivemos o resultado final das várias operações arroladas anteriormente. Este é um exemplo de um ficheiro de trabalho Excel, onde é possível visualizar as 3 dimensões. Esse é título ilustrativo, né? A plataforma está projetada para funcionar com vários usuários, que se encontra dentro da rede local, nesse caso. Mas para proteger as espaços de trabalho e limitar o seu uso, na plataforma já vem incorporado o sistema de permissões, onde somente o usuário que tiver permissão específica ou o administrador pode trabalhar e salvar os ficheiros. O acesso aos arquivos é regulado pelos administradores. Existem alguns itens especificamente para administradores, caso, por exemplo, dos ficheiros de reconciliação. Os outros usuários podem abrir qualquer ficheiro, mas se não der permissão, receberão uma mensagem de que só podem fazer a leitura do ficheiro, mas não fazer nenhuma alteração ou salvar o ficheiro. Todos os ficheiros possuem uma célula de Excel em headers, desenhada exclusivamente para permitir conexões com a base de dados. Pois para que o sistema funcione corretamente, cada célula conectada ao banco de dados deve ter um identificador específico nesse caso. Este identificador é baseado em várias classificações. São as classificações que fazem parte integrante do sistema e que permitem que haja esse intercâmbio entre a folha e a base de dados. Esta é a folha a qual eu me referia, que está em AID, onde estão todo o desenho das especificações do NADABAS. Também acredito eu que o dia de ontem já foi abordada essa questão, e com um pouco mais de leitura, se houver alguma dúvida, possamos ultrapassar. Desafios. Bom, aqui temos 2 desafios. O primeiro diz respeito a ter um maior domínio em procedimentos de tecnologia e informação. Isso vai ser possível através de formações contínuas. O segundo diz respeito a nos apropriarmos cada vez mais das versões atualizadas que vão surgindo sobre o NADABAS. E que também acreditamos que vai ser preciso alguma formação nesse âmbito, né? Dito isso, meu muito obrigado. E termino por aqui.
you very much. Thank you very much, Mozambique. I think, thank you very much for this presentation. Our colleague from Mozambique to share your good experience on use on NADABAS. So I think now we'll proceed to Namibia. I don't know if Namibia is connected now. Colleague from Namibia. Namibia. So Jan, I don't know the name of a representative of Namibia. I don't know if you can see him with this. Jan, Redevi. I don't know who's coming from Namibia. Jan, are you there?
Because this one is tell me.
Sorry, sorry, I was muted. I am back now.
What
Sorry
I'm saying,
that I was. Yes?
do you know that is Mozambique, Namibia is connected? Namibia.
I don't know if there are more participants here or if they have missed.
Okay, I think. Okay, maybe I cannot see. They were here yesterday, Namibia.
Yeah. Yes, they were here yesterday. Yeah.
I think they sent their presentation. I don't know if you can share with us or.
So,
Okay.
They are not here.
Oh, yeah, because I'm calling them now, but no one is reacted from Namibia. Okay, I think maybe what I'm proposing, maybe we can continue with your previous presentation, and then after, I think maybe what we'll do right now, let's give a floor to country to react on the presentation from Kenya, Lesotho, and Mozambique. So any question to Kenya, Lesotho, or Mozambique, colleague, feel free to come in. Any question?
Oh, any question? Yes, yes.
Do you have a question? Anna.
Sim, tenho.
Do you have a
Tenho uma
question?
questão para fazer ao Moçambique. De São Tomé, Ana Justina, de São Tomé e Príncipe.
Okay, please go ahead.
Ok, eu vou falar em português. Eu tenho uma pequena dúvida. Não sei se os colegas de Moçambique podem me esclarecer. O NADABAS é uma ferramenta do Excel ou é um software novo? Eu tenho essa dúvida. É uma questão, tem duas questões. A outra questão nós para extrairmos alguns dados na NADABAS, temos que ter o dado já feito no Excel. Como se diz, o PIB, o IPC, já tem que estar concluído no Excel e depois é só para extrair os dados ou nada basta também compila-se os dados do PIB. Eu fiquei com uma dúvida porque eu sei que quando os dados estão errados sai a vermelho, mas eu queria saber se ele já recebe os dados já compilados ou se podemos compilar os dados, se ele já gera os dados quando nós pedimos através do ano, trimestre, se ele já gera os dados. Essa é a minha dúvida. Desculpa, parece que eu não entendi muito bem porque houve um pequeno problema com a internet ontem e é por essa razão que eu faço essa questão. Não sei se estão a me ouvir. A reação dos colegas de Moçambique, faz favor.
Sim, estamos a ouvir. Ia começar por dizer que o NADABAS é um software. Um software que é adicionado à grelha do ficheiro Excel a partir do ADIN. Não sei se percebi bem, disse que ontem não esteve, né? Na formação, na apresentação de ontem. Mas
Estive, mas
lá.
eu não entendi muito bem, porque tive um problema com a internet, mas depois, pronto, eu não entendi muito bem como é que funcionava. Então, hoje acompanhei e como vocês foram um pouco superficial e eu não consegui. Ok.
Sim, eu acho que o primeiro passo para trabalhar com o NADABAS é criar abrir o ficheiro em Access e após esse facto, com base no abre-se uma folha Excel, faz-se no rol de, acho que é no menu, se não falha a memória, tem a parte das opções, onde vai ao ADIN e incorpora a parte do NADABAS. E incorporada essa parte, simplesmente está lá uma das ferramentas, o NADABAS. Contudo, só o software em si não diz nada isso. É preciso que os ficheiros de trabalho sejam feitos, sejam organizados em Excel e registrados lá, para que possam ter utilidade. A vantagem do NADABAS é não permitir ligações ficheiro Excel. Digo isso porque por exemplo, ficheiros, abrindo um ficheiro por exemplo, do comércio externo, 2, 3 anos, o Excel fica muito lento. E o NADABAS, com base em algumas especificações, tem lá os keyframes, onde é possível pôr as classificações, as codificações. É possível fazer o load da informação do ficheiro, já está gravado dentro do sistema NADABAS, sem que haja essa demora, essa lentidão de quando abres um ficheiro Excel com vários loads, né? com vários links nesse caso. Não sei, mais ou menos estou a tentar. Está assim?
Muito bem, estou a entender. Pode continuar, professor.
O ficheiro o software foi desenhado precisamente para suavizar o peso dos ficheiros, porque há ficheiros de trabalho que precisam ter interação com 2, 3, 4 ficheiros, né? Se for abrir, por exemplo, um ficheiro um produto tem, por exemplo, ligações com vários ficheiros do comércio externo, balança de pagamento, por aí em diante. Isso acaba tornando o trabalho muito lento, muito cansativo. E muitas das vezes não permite que seja tão flexível assim. Agora, alojando esses ficheiros no NADABAS, porque o NADABAS tem várias janelas, né? Tem a parte, cria-se a janela dos produtos, a janela dos ramos de atividade, a janela dos setores, das operações, por aí em diante. Elas ficam lá. Então, abrindo é possível fazer com as especificações, já vão fazendo dentro do próprio software. Vai permitir que tenha acesso a uma variedade de informação de vários ficheiros numa única folha, sem que tenha necessidade de fazer link um por um. sensor. Mas acredito que ainda há de haver um exemplo nesse sentido, poderá talvez com mais devagar sanarmos essa dificuldade. Muito obrigado.
Ok, obrigada, pessoal de Moçambique, e agradeço pela explicação. Ok.
Okay, thank you very much, our colleague from Mozambique, and then also Anna Justina for your question. So I think now I don't know if our colleague from Namibia is back. They are back now. If they are back, they can make the presentation. Namibia, are you connected now?
Yes, I am connected. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. Please proceed with your presentation. Go on.
Oh, okay. Can I share my screen now?
Yeah, please go ahead.
But then I don't even know where I should go to. Share my screen. Is there? Can you see my screen now?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you very much for the opportunity. My name is Thomas Kanyanga, a statistician, national account. I suppose I'm just a statistician, and this presentation is supposed to be done by the head of national account, but equally engaged to the training of trainers of trainees about the census that we are embarking on next year. So to start with, I will just try to go through the outlines where we have the national accounts system evaluation, and then we go to introduction of NADABAS and then experiences, and then I conclude. Just a short presentation on that. Some time ago, 1993 to 2006, we had a system of national account called MenuNAC, which is like a system, an old SNAPSy earlier version, which is like the linkage of Excel files, actually, where there's no NADABAS. Not NADABAS, but when there's no database, actually. And from 2006 to 2016, there was an update of MenuMac, which is the SNAPSy, still under the Excel worksheet, interlinks of worksheet. And by the grace of God, actually, because by 2016 to date, and then we, with the help of YanRedDB, we came up with NADABAS. Now, the introduction to NADABAS, it was necessary because during this SNAPSy, because we know that Excel sometimes when it is when there are a lot of information, it starts to have problems. Like, let me say, when you update files and then you find that the formula file corrupts, and even when you try to do the formula, maybe the formula is corrupt and so forth. And then we know that also Excel has limitations. According to the IT people, then when they tell you that no, Excel doesn't hold a lot of information, it has limitation. And solution to that, then we came up with NADABAS, and that was installed in 2016. And the NADABAS system is an access-based system where we say that the front end, we use Excel spreadsheet, and then the back end, we use Excel linked to Access. Maybe I can just explain more on that, the calculation calculation formulas and data entry, it's done on the Excel spreadsheet. And when you save the data is picked from the Excel and saved into the Access, which is the database. And when you need that information that you have saved, you have just to load again, and then which is like it picks from the excess with a database and come and drop the information to the Excel where you want to work on. So NADABAS is not that really difficult to install, like as it was explained yesterday. It is easy to install, it's just an add-in to store in the laptops. And then like in our case in Namibia, we use the local area network, which is the central server. And the server sits we sit on the first floor actually, and the IT department sit on the second floor, which is maybe a little bit far from us. And then maybe the few challenge that I can just say that when you update or maybe load or save the system, it takes a bit longer during working hours. I do not know now the reason. Maybe Soren and Jan maybe will help us on that to see why exactly it's like slow like that during working hours. But after working hours, yeah, you can work things. I mean, it's a bit faster. And in this time of COVID-19, we are really working from home, and most of us we are working from home. And you can access NADABAS remotely via the VPN. That is like they were giving credentials, you log in, and then you connect to the server at the work. So, and it's still the same also when you update. It takes longer during working hours, but it is faster when everyone is off. So then in 2019, actually, we based from 2010 to 2015 this year, and where we have also moved from Isaac Rev 3 to 4, and we implemented the SNA 2008 recommendation, and then the same time we introduced the GDP compilation of current prices actually. So by doing so, because the system was already set up in NADABAS with installed already, and all the updates expanding for sectors and designing area, upload area, database link, test design, and system also like to notify if there are errors was done actually internally, and we can just give credit to our head of national account, Mr. Kamatuka. Yeah, with the remotely assistant from Jan Reddebi on the internally update on the NADABAS. And to say that NADABAS is not really like you can do that as long. I mean, you can do that. It's not really like you have a master degree or a degree in IT or information. I mean, in IT, you can do it even if you are not an IT person, because it really.
I think we lost Namibia. Namibia, if you are sitting there, we cannot hear you anymore. Hello, Namibia. Thomas. Jan, can you hear Namibia again? Me, no.
Can't hear. I can't hear. I think it's their connection that is broken. I'm not sure.
Yeah, but I think anyway he come almost to the end of his presentation. I can see that.
Samson, can we give him some time to reconnect then? Because I think
okay,
it's a breaking connection from.
Yeah, it's breaking connection. Okay, so I think now we come. Maybe I think maybe come to the end of the full presentation. And then there are still already some questions to Thomas. Are you back? Maybe let's wait a few minutes to see if he can come back. Lash, can you hear Namibia?
No, I cannot, but I think he is trying maybe to reconnect and then maybe have to shut down the presentation and restart it. Because I can see him here in the participation list, and yeah, okay. I think his mic is not muted now, so maybe he will soon. No, I think he's online. Thomas. I can see him here.
Me too, but we cannot hear him.
No. And he's not mute either.
Yeah. Okay. I think he will come to the end of his presentation. Okay, I think even he come to the end of his presentation. So let me now open the floor for comment and discussion. There is one comment in the chat for Mozambique. I don't know if Mozambique. Elder, did you see that comment? Mozambique.
Yes.
Yeah. Please, can you answer to that comment in the chat? Feel free to answer in Portuguese.
Okay, let me see.
Yeah, in the chat. Yeah.
Okay. A questão aqui é sobre se as contas trimestrais são estimadas a serem inseridas no NADABAS. Não sei se percebi bem. Se essa for a questão, é dizer que, neste momento, Moçambique está a fazer a compilação das contas anuais dentro da plataforma do NADABAS. As contas trimestrais são feitas à parte em ficheiros em Excel e estamos neste momento a trabalhar no sentido de inseri-las dentro do sistema NADABAS e passar a ser produzidas nos mesmos moldes que as contas anuais. E neste momento só estamos a calcular as contas trimestrais na ótica de produção e a preços constantes só. Então, o novo projeto que está sendo desenhado é na perspectiva de incorporar as contas trimestrais no sistema NADABAS, mas não só a sua produção será na ótica de produção, será na ótica de produção de despesa, tanto a preços correntes como a preços constantes. Não sei se me fez claro.
Mozambique, can you come in again, Mozambique?
Sim, estava a explicar aqui.
Yeah, but speak a lot because you are many speaking, so the interpreter is facing the challenge to translate.
It's okay. Neste momento, somente as contas anuais são calculadas dentro do NADABAS. As contas trimestrais são calculadas fora do NADABAS, mas estamos a desenvolver um projeto, aliás, já está em andamento um projeto no sentido de incorporá-las dentro do sistema NADABAS. Essa incorporação vai nos permitir que, para além de calcularmos na ótica de produção, também possamos calcular na ótica de despesa, tanto a preços correntes, assim como a preços constantes. Não sei se está... That's okay?
Mozambique, I will propose if you can come back again and explain, because there was a lot of background
Oui,
noise.
c'est bon. Hein? Merci pour la réponse. C'est Modou de Lioma.
Ok, c'est bon.
J'ai bien noté. Hein? Il dit que les comptes annuels sont calculés dans... comptes annuels sont calculés dans NADABAS. Maintenant, les comptes trimestriels ne sont pas calculés dans NADABAS, ils sont calculés dans des fichiers Excel. Et vous êtes en train de les mettre dans la base NADABAS. J'ai bien noté la réponse. Merci beaucoup, Mozambique.
Okay. Thomas, do you have a question? Please go ahead. Okay.
No. I wanted to know, like, when they say share the full screen, was it directed to me or someone else?
It was you, but anyway, we managed to follow the presentation. Even at the last minute, we lost you.
Oh, okay, because the system kicked me out 2 times. I don't know what was the problem. Thank you.
Yeah, okay, thank you. So, any further question, comment from participant on the country experience? Okay. So, Jan, can you come back again on your previous presentation, Jan? Let it be. If you have a stable internet connection now.
Yeah, it's still, I still get the message that it is, but shall I repeat what I did in the beginning? Huh?
Okay.
I can do that. So let me repeat it again. Huh? We will, as I told you, we got the, yeah, I want to share the screen, sorry. I want to share the screen and share screen. Can you see my screen now? A folder called NADABAS tutorial.
Yeah, we can see. Go ahead.
And this is what this folder is, what we are going to send to you as a zipped file. It will be about 6 megabytes. So we find it easier just send it to everybody that has participated in the work, about 120 persons. Some of you might already have it. It includes the tutorial, and the tutorial also includes the NADABAS installation file. So let's look at the folder NADABAS tutorial. It is a PDF file which describes the contents of the 3 subfolders here. So the NADABAS installation file is in the subfolder NB practice. It's in here, and it ends with number 13. That is the latest version. As we said, yes, as Søren said yesterday, now and then there are updates, but normally it's a matter of amending some minor errors or some minor addition and so on. So the intention is that we should send everybody who has registered on the website should get the latest version sent to them. So in this NADABAS, sorry, it is explained what it includes. So you shall you will work on all these folders. There are prepared Excel files with formulas entered, because the problem here is not to work with Excel formulas. The problem sort of, the thing that you're supposed to, that the tutorial is about, is how to connect to the database, how to design the database tables, the so-called key families and so on. So it's all in here. Also under the folder documents, you have you have prepared classifications. It's explained how you shall do it, but it also includes the NADABAS manual and the file with error messages, which I think I commented upon yesterday. Yeah? Okay, so then I go back to the main one. So one thing with NADABAS, I think Søren commented upon that yesterday, is that you should, it's important how you organize your Excel files. Everything should be kept into one folder, which can be wherever you want it on your computer. In the network environment, that folder is on the file server, is on the network. So then, I mean, everybody has ideas, but it's important to organize your Excel files nicely. So we have one subfolder for data. We have one subfolder for the expenditure estimates, one subfolder for the production estimates with all the production files, the economic activities. And one subfolder for quarterly estimates, one for tables. But you might have your own thoughts on how you want to organize the files. But the important thing is everything that you work with in NADABAS should be contained in one and the same folder, which is the base folder of the NADABAS. So the tutorial is intended to illustrate that. As I said yesterday, the tutorial is very much simplified, but to a certain extent, it is realistic. So it shows, it works with, it shows how to use the price data. In the tutorial, we have assumed that there is a CPI and PPI available. We are assuming that you are using income tax data for your annual estimates, VAT data for, as indicated, for the quarterly estimates. You will also have foreign trade data. So, okay, so that's, and then in this subfolder called NBDEMI, that it's a replicate of the practice folder, but with ready-made files. So if you want to see how your attempts to design NADABAS, it contains a solution sort of. So this is what will be sent to you. So for all of you now participating in the workshop, you don't have to make the request via the website. It will be sent to you after the workshop. So I think that is what I wanted to say now on this issue. I hope you could all hear me.
Yeah, we can hear you. It was very clear.
Yeah, now it was better. Sorry about the mishap in the beginning of the
No
meeting.
problem, no problem. Now I think, can you proceed now for the comment on the previous workshop and
yes,
summary?
yes, I can do that. It's short, but I have a small. Let me see now. I have a small presentation prepared.
Okay, please go ahead.
Can you see it now?
Yeah, we can see. No, not yet. Not yet.
Oh, maybe I should stop sharing and share again.
Okay, maybe. Yeah.
Yeah, just bear with me for a minute. Okay, so I go back to, and then I screen, and I go to my presentation, and now you can see it. And I will make it into a slideshow. Can you see it properly now?
Not yet. Yeah, now it's okay.
Now it's okay, yeah. So previous workshops. So a similar workshop was arranged in April this year. Then we had the 2 sessions. The first one was about NADABAS, including country presentation, but without the technical thing that Søren presented today. Then the second day was devoted to national accounts issues, and that was rebasing and revisions. For this workshop, we decided to only deal with NADABAS. Then in July 2021, there was a 1 day with 1 session, and that was the technical part of it, the IT part of it, which Søren presented at the end of yesterday. So we sent an evaluation survey with a couple of questions, and yeah, you can see them here. I mean, if it did meet your expectations, additional comments, etc., etc. And then about NADABAS, what was your overall impression of the system? Do you think it could be used for the national accounts in your country? Then there was a couple of what you see as advantages, pros and cons. So, and we will do the same sort of survey after this workshop. So in summary, in general, the presentation of the contents of the workshop, you said it did meet the expectations. There were quite a number of positive comments about NADABAS, but a lot of question marks, of course. And in short, it's not possible to get full picture of the system in a short time. So the workshop is some sort of a teaser. And another thing was that you wanted to, you need more explanations and more training. And there are plans for that. I mean, I think there are limitations what you can achieve in webinars, in virtual workshops. So in the end, to get a full grasp on it, I think some person to person, some, what should I say, real-time workshops should be arranged whenever that can be done. There was one question that you answered: could NADABAS be used for national accounts in your country? And of the participants then, I think it was mainly the English-speaking and Portuguese-speaking countries participating then. And among the participants, 7 of them were already using NADABAS. 6 answered that maybe it could be used, and 4 countries answered maybe. And 1 respondent answered no. So that is my short summary of the responses to the evaluation survey. Do you have any questions?
Yes.
Stop
Thank
sharing.
you. Thank you, Jan. So I think now let's hear from participants if there is any question, comment. None? But I think there was some question to you, Jan, and Søren from Namibia, while he was saying that during the working hours, the system is very slow, but after working hours, the systems run very well. So I don't know, Jan, if you want to tackle that one before I give the floor to Søren, or what do you think? Like
I think I'm still okay. I think Søren is in a better position to elaborate on that issue. For me, I think it's a matter of the network setup, but let me give the floor to Søren on that issue.
Okay, Søren, please, over to you.
Yeah, thank you very much. Yes, I think I had some discussions with Namibia around a year ago regarding this problem that it's very slow, and now I get the information that it's very slow in daytime, but not off time. So it's clearly a problem that the LAN system you have is simply too busy. And then you mentioned that you might consider to use SQL. And as I said in my presentation yesterday, you should only do it if you're already using SQL Server within your organization. It really requires some IT specialists that have good knowledge of SQL Server. I would rather point to the second solution I came up with yesterday, and that goes both for you. It could be actually also interesting for both Kenya and Lesotho, who also experience problems with the LAN, and that is trying to set up this very small local network where you simply have a NAS drive and use wireless connections within the Department of National Account. As I said yesterday, it should be affordable. I will be very happy to assist you if you would like to engage in such an activity. You have my email address, and if needed, we can also make a Zoom meeting or another kind of online meeting. I think if I can help you in any way with that, I will be happy to do so. But I think as both Lesotho and Kenya said, it would be much improvement if it was on a LAN. But what I think is important here is the LAN doesn't need to be a company-wide LAN. It could be a much more local LAN just for the National Account Department. And I think that could be set up rather easily and would actually meet your expectations. But I hope, I know it has not, the only one who has done it so far is myself back home, and I'm not using NADABAS every day. I think it would be worth if we could have at least somebody trying it out and see if it actually works in practice. Yeah, I hope that answers some of the questions raised. If not, then come back.
Okay, thank you, Søren. I think if maybe Namibia has a follow-up question, maybe they can come later. So I think now let's hear from Lars. Lars, over to you.
Yeah, yes, I can maybe comment on that as well. And Søren is completely right. It's can be a network congestion, but it can also be a congestion on the file server. And I don't know how Namibia store their files. So maybe I would, if I were there, I would start to look into the file server. because normally the network, I think if it is running a gigabit or 100 megabit is even okay. But I think the root cause of this problem is probably the file server and the storage system they are using. So if Namibia can come back and tell us a little bit more about what kind of storage and the file server system they are using, so maybe they can start to look into that. Thank you.
Thank you, Lars. Thomas, are you still there? Thomas from Namibia. Or any colleague from Namibia are connected? No? Okay. Maybe they can come later. Okay, Samuel.
Yes, I'm still around. Yes.
Yeah. Did you
Yes,
hear a question from
actually,
Lars?
the storage.
Thomas, we cannot hear you.
The storage. You cannot hear me.
Now it's clear. Now it's okay.
Maybe
Go
I'm
ahead.
muted.
No, now it's okay. Go ahead.
Yes, okay. I'm saying that the storage, actually, we store all the document in one file as it was presented by Redebi, and I presume the slow it's only like what Soren has explained, that maybe because we connect to the server actually, and the server might be the one that is having a problem, that maybe we need to have a new server or small LAN for a national account only. Maybe that is the case. But when it comes to a file storage, it is stored in one file or one document. I mean, one place actually.
Okay. Thank you, Thomas. So
If
yeah,
I may,
Soren, go ahead.
yeah. Yes, I think Lars may have a point in talking about the actual file server, and yes, that can of course be the reason. If the file server is heavily used for many purposes, including mails and so forth and so on, then that can clearly be the bottleneck. But whether it's the actual LAN or it is a server, both of those problems would be addressed if you created this small local area network, because then the server, there's no server, there's this NAS drive that would be used only by NADABAS. And then it's very unlikely that it will ever be overloaded. Because as also mentioned yesterday, actually, when you're working with your files using NADABAS, you actually, most of the time, are not at all communicating with the server. It's something you do occasionally. So the risk that two persons on the same side are loading data or saving data, it's not very likely. So I think that to both of the kind of problems, the solution might be useful, and I think I really think it's worth examining.
Thank you, Soren. Lars, you want to come in?
Yes, I can just emphasize what Søren said. He's completely correct and right in describing the cause of the error maybe, and using a kind of decentralized setup, if it is though permitted by the IT unit, if there is one in Namibia then. So of course you will remedy this problem immediately by setting up your own NAS and your own network for sure.
Okay, I think, Soren, there was also a question from Mozambique about the update version. They said they are facing the challenge to get the update version of NADABAS. I don't know if you can address that question also from Mozambique. Soren.
Yeah, I really have a difficulty in understanding the kind of problem you have, because the main issue here is that whenever you have a revised version of NADABAS and that you want to install, then it should be installed on each computer connected to the system so that everybody is running the same version. It's not so, if you look at the version numbers as you saw them, I think the present one is 506.013. And if it's only the last number that is changed, that means that it's a minor error that has been corrected, and you can actually mix those versions. If it's the second, and not to speak about the first ticket, then there is a major reversion and everybody should be running at least the same version there. But installing NADABAS, I mean, it's as I demonstrated yesterday, you open the file, you press on the button install. If NADABAS is already installed, it will actually tell you that it will replace NADABAS, and you say okay to that, and then the installation process goes straight ahead. So I really don't understand. Yeah.
Yes, but Soren, maybe to help the colleague from Kenya, Lesotho, Namibia, and Mozambique, can you tell them now the latest version of NADABAS so that they can make sure that they have a latest version? Soren.
Can I come in there?
Of course.
But
no, wait. Soren is talking. Wait. Soren, go ahead.
But as Jan said, he will send out now this tutorial, and part of that will be the latest version of NADABAS. So everybody will get now the latest version if they don't have it. But I think that both Kenya and Mozambique actually are running on the latest version.
No, Mozambique said that they don't have a latest version.
Okay, but then they will get it.
Okay, so maybe Jan, over to you.
No, I was saying the same thing as I said in the beginning of the meeting also. We decided the simplest thing now is to send everything to everybody. I mean, this tutorial to everybody, although some of you might already have it and so on, but that's the easiest way. And then it means that Mozambique, Lesotho, etc., you will get the latest version. It will be in the folder, what is it now called, practice under the tutorial folder that you get. So you will get it. That's okay. And then we have to look at the procedures to do it in the future.
Não sei se poderia confirmar se a última versão é 5.06.008. Não sei se estou errado. 5.06.008. Now, 50.06.008. Yes, I think that's the nossa última versão do NADABAS. Instalamos, se não me falha a memória, ano passado.
Thank you, Mozambique. So I don't know if Soren and Jan, did you hear Mozambique? This is the last version. This is 6.0 something.
Yeah, I mean, not to have the latest version is not a major problem. There are very small, there are very small differences between the latest updates. But after this meeting, everybody will have the latest, and then we have to look at the procedures to keep you updated.
Yeah, and then I might say that we discussed yesterday that you can go and register yourself on the webpage. And afterwards, we actually had a discussion. And my problem right now is that I am not having a complete list of persons who should receive any new versions of NADABAS. But if people are registered, then we will send out the latest version to everybody who are registered as a user of NADABAS. So that is one of the reasons that we are really would be happy if people register on the NADABAS website, because then we will solve this problem. So far it has been that I sent something to Jan, and then I hope that Jan will distribute to whoever he has been in contact with. So it's going to be easier if I just had a mailing list and could click on that. Right now there are, as Jan said, the latest version, I think it's 506.013, and it is really minor differences to the 008. Solving very specific problems that somebody had. But of course, everybody should have access to the latest version. But we are going to look into and make sure that we have a better system of distribution.
Okay, thank you very much, Soren. I think it's good also, maybe Mozambique Elder will get in touch with you, and then you can clear that issue of latest version. So I think one of our colleagues was raising her hand so far. Allow me now to give him the floor. Samuel, please, over to you. Samuel.
Oui, merci beaucoup, Samson. Bonjour tout le monde. Je suis de l'Institut de statistique de Madagascar. Je suis statisticien économiste et bien sûr comptable national. Je remercie encore cette science parce que c'est très enrichissant. On entend encore donc de nouvelles outils pour l'aide à l'élaboration des comptes nationaux. Ma question est juste adressée donc aux développeurs de NADABAS. Je ne sais pas s'ils ont des réponses ou non, mais je vais toujours poser la question. Quelle est la différence entre NADABAS et les autres outils d'aide à l'élaboration des comptes nationaux qui existent actuellement? Il y a le ETS, je ne sais pas s'il y en a d'autres. De mon côté, moi personnellement, j'ai développé un outil. Je n'ai pas encore bien compris le NADABAS. Donc, je n'ai pas encore de comparaison vraiment à faire, mais la similitude, en fait, c'est qu'on a des bases de données séparées de l'outil. J'ai développé sur Excel aussi. Et l'outil, en fait, l'application qui utilise la base de données, la différence, je crois aussi, c'est que pour moi, déjà, c'est que la base de données, c'est juste la base de données, si vous voulez, la base de données microéconomique. La microéconomique, le résultat, c'est calculé à chaque fois qu'on en a besoin. Et il y a aussi une chose, c'est que tous les travaux qu'on fait sur les comptes nationaux va être intégré dans la base des données. Et donc, la base des données qu'on dispose, c'est tout simplement la base des données qui contient en quelque sorte les comptes nationaux qu'on sort. Et on peut utiliser la base de données sur toutes sortes d'autres analyses que les comptes nationaux. C'est un peu la différence et la ressemblance avec ce que moi j'ai fait. Je ne comprends pas encore très bien ce que c'est NADABAS, mais si on peut avoir des idées sur la différence avec les autres outils d'aide à l'élaboration, ça nous aidera à mieux comprendre encore davantage NADABAS. Merci beaucoup.
Yeah, thank you very much, Samuel. Jan, I think that question is for you. Ready, B?
Yes, I am. Let me come back now.
Did he hear the question? I don't know if the interpreter was.
Yeah. Yes, I heard the question quite clearly, but what I'm not clear about, what you are using in Madagascar, is it RTS or do you have another database solution?
Non, c'est pas RTS. Nous avons notre propre outil d'aide à l'élaboration propre à nous, que moi j'ai développé personnellement. Mais cet outil est développé sous Excel aussi, qu'on utilise le VBA.
Jan?
Yes.
Is it clear for you?
Yeah, it's clear, but of course I'm not able to tell the differences without having some more details how your tool is built up.
But Jan, I think the fact is we are talking about differences.
La question est la suivante. Je peux reposer la question.
Ok, allez-y.
Quelle est la différence entre NADABAS et les autres outils d'élaboration des comptes nationaux comme RTS? Enfin, je ne sais pas si vous avez la réponse, mais là, si vous pouvez nous donner des informations là-dessus, ce serait mieux.
Soran, wait, let me finish. Samuel, before finish.
I think I understand your question.
Soran, wait, let me finish. Maybe then an interpreter can assist you very well. Samuel, tu as fini?
Can you hear me now?
Je reprends ma question.
Okay, Samuel, c'est bon. So, Soran, please go ahead.
Thank you.
No, c'est bon, Samuel. Soran, go ahead.
Yeah. I must say that I have only very limited knowledge about Eretis, that is the system you're currently using. But I think the similarity is that both Eretis and NADABAS uses Excel as the front end and use a database on the bottom. For me, an important difference is that NADABAS is using a standard database, Microsoft Access or SQL Server, where Eretis is built on a very specific database, the progress database, far as I know. And that might be a problem somewhere in the future, I don't know. Another, I think, important difference is that, as we also mentioned yesterday, NADABAS is simply a tool that transport data between Excel sheets and the database. Well, either you save your data to the database or you load your data from the database. But NADABAS does not in any way manipulate data. NADABAS doesn't set up spreadsheets for you. I think Eretis do that. So Eretis is much more a system that contains a methodology for national account. And if you're happy with that methodology, I'm quite sure Eretis is working quite well. What NADABAS gives you is more freedom in how you design your system, because you're actually going to design it from the very bottom. But but all it does is that it helps you to organize your data in a good way, organize your spreadsheets in a good way. But it doesn't create spreadsheets. It doesn't imply any specific method. It doesn't do any calculations on its own. All of that you have to design yourself in the spreadsheet. And I think that's the main difference, which, as far as I understand, it raises. And I haven't had the chance to look into it in details, unfortunately. But I think that is, from what I can find around erasers, is the main differences between NADABAS and erasers. And I would say, if you are happy with erasers, then stay there.
Okay, so thank you, Soren. I don't know if Jan, do you want to add anything?
Not really. I could see in the that there is another similar question in the chat here from Pano Ignace from I think it's the Democratic Republic of Congo. He also asks about the difference between he needs to know the difference between NADABAS and RTS. And I think Søren has explained it sort of. I can just build on that. RTS knows national accounts. It's built on SNA 2008. And I think for the production estimates, it's an idea of revolving estimates, two yearly estimates with an annual supply and use table. Then it also have modules for institutional accounts, quarterly accounts, and so on. But as I don't know the details, I can't explain what it is. But I think for each and every country, I mean, it's for you to decide which one serves your needs best. So using NADABAS, what you have to do, you should think of it that to set up an orderly Excel system. And I've seen many solutions in quite a number of countries where the Excel files are quite a passage with links that you can't trace, you can't see the origin of data and so on. So adopting NADABAS, think of it making an orderly organization of your Excel files. But then you have to apply your knowledge of national accounts when you design your Excel files. So there are two systems which are quite very different, and it's up to you to decide which one serves your needs best. And if you are a long-time user of RTS, why not continue with that?
So, Jan, while you are still there, there is another question in chat. They say NADABAS has which nomenclature of activity and product?
If it has a nomenclature of activities and products.
Yeah, which one? Which one?
No, there is no ready-made nomenclature or the classification. Because you have to adopt that one yourself, but I think it's the same with RTS. You have to sort of apply the classification that you use in your country. And one thing that we have experienced when we have set up the NADABAS systems, I mean, ISIC revision 4, that is a widely used classification which countries use, some of them with their own adapted to their own needs. Then there is, when I have worked in countries, there is also a classification of products recommended by the SNA, the so-called CPC, Central Product Classification. I rather suggest that so-called classifications of products by activity, which is sort of aligned to the ISIC classification. Did that answer that question?
I think it's clear, but I don't know if he has further question. Maybe he can come. I saw hand before from John Sami, but I don't know if he still want to come in or is okay. Jean Sami. Okay. Yeah, Jean Sami, please proceed if you want to still come in. We can't hear you, Jean Sami. Did anyone hear Jean Sami? Me, I cannot hear him. Redebi, did you hear Jean Sami?
No, I can't hear.
I thought he may want to give some light about every test, but oh, sorry, we couldn't hear you, Jean Sami. Maybe you can disconnect and connect again. If you come back at any time, you can let me know, and then I will give you flow. So now we are in the last session, question and answer about any issue of NADABAS. So, colleague, if you have any question, any comment, feel free now to come in. Yes, Jean Sami say he has a problem with his mic. So maybe you can put your question or anything in the chat, then we can read it. Yeah. So, any question?
Là?
Oui, c'est bon maintenant.
Ah.
Allez-y.
Alors, merci Samson, bonjour à tous, et merci de me donner l'occasion d'intervenir et d'apporter quelques précisions sur les différences entre NADABAS et RETES. Je crois que comme l'a dit Yann ou Soren, la principale chose déjà, c'est le modèle de la base de données, c'est-à-dire que RETES est basé non pas sur une base Access, mais sur une base dédiée qui est une base Progress. La deuxième chose, la deuxième grande différence, c'est en termes de conception de l'outil. RETES est vraiment un système de comptabilité nationale qui est beaucoup plus fermé et figé et qui offre un certain nombre de tableaux de travail, à savoir des équilibres au sens emploi, des comptes de branche, des comptes de secteur institutionnel, qui sont déjà formatés et présents dans le système et qui permettent d'effectuer des calculs automatisés. Donc, en fait, l'utilisateur a beaucoup moins de latitude pour adapter son système et en fait, il doit se fondre à travers l'outil dans une méthodologie comptable qui est déjà préétablie. Et il ne fait que suivre cette méthodologie comptable en croisant les différentes dimensions qui sont offertes à lui à travers les différents tableaux de travail. Donc, du point de vue de la comptabilité nationale, ERETES est un système qui permet de compléter tous les tableaux standards officiels et en fait, tous les utilisateurs ont exactement la même version du système, contrairement à NADABAS qui doit être un système qui doit être adapté en fonction des besoins des différents pays et des données qui sont mises à leur disposition. Donc, en résumé, on peut dire que l'organisation de RETES est très formatée, qu'elle est elle est la même pour tous les types d'utilisateurs, mais l'avantage, c'est que tout le monde dispose de la même version et que tous les calculs sont effectués de la même manière entre les différents pays, ce qui permet d'avoir des données qui sont vraiment comparables entre pays. Voilà ce que je voulais dire. Je vous remercie.
Thank you very much, Jean Sami, to give us that light, and then I think now it's clear. Now, yeah. So now let's. I don't know if we have if there is any further comment, question, answer, or NADABAS before we close. Colleague, any comments? Feel free now. There is some question in the chat, was in Portuguese. Okay, colleague, I can see there is no further comment or question. So I think we come now to the end of this section. This 2-day NADABAS workshop again on online workshop on NADABAS. I think allow me now to give a floor maybe to Soren and Jan to give us some technical issue before we move to the closing remark. So let me start with Jan. Jan, please over to you, and then maybe Soren will come after you.
Yeah, this workshop, we have presented the system to a wider audience now. So again, I mean, if you have any interest, if you are interested, I encourage you to look at the package that we are sending you. That will give you a more detailed idea about the system. And you are always very welcome with questions. I mean, you can send them via yeah, I think Søren gave his email address yesterday. My email address, let me see. No, you can send your questions via the website. It will come to us. So that's my final words. Please explore the tutorial that you are going to get by email.
Thank you, Lars. Soren, over to you.
Yeah, I can only say, as Jan said, any questions, and especially, of course, of technical nature, you can either send them to the website or you can send them to the mail address I gave you yesterday. And again, for those of you who already are using NADABAS, remember that I am there. I try to assist if I can. And I think I've been in contact with several of you over the years. And I hope we can keep in touch. And that's all.
Thank you very much, Soren. Yeah. So, as colleagues, you know, this meeting is organized by South Africa in collaboration with Static Sweden and Static Norway. So now allow me to give a floor to Lars from Static Sweden for some few words. Lars, over to you, please.
Okay, thank you, Samson. Yes, like yesterday, I would like to start with a big thank you to the presenters, the participants, and of course, South Africa and Samson for hosting this event. And I think it has been 2 interesting days. We have learned a lot, and we also learned that you soon will receive this package of the software and the tutorial and manuals. And as Jan wrote in his talk about the summing up of the last workshop we had, that we will then produce another short survey of findings from this workshop. And I hope that we can keep this network together and that we also can enlarge it, so we can bring in some more people into this network that can start working as ambassadors or trainers in different parts for the NADABAS. And hopefully, if everything goes as planned, we can have a training of trainers later on this year or maybe in the beginning of next year. But that has to do with the COVID situation and some funding for our projects in Africa. So once again, thank you all for participating, and don't forget to watch this on YouTube later on. I was actually there yesterday and checked the link, and I thought it was like 40 views or something. So we need to scale that up. We need more views. That's important. Thank you.
Thank you, Lars. So I think I would have now to give a floor to Statistics Norway.
Thank you, Samson, and thank you very much for organizing this these 2 days. And then, of course, thank you to all the presenters. I think also big thank you to the countries. It's very interesting for us to hear the country experience. And I think one of the reasons why we have where we are kind of gathering here and trying to support NADABAS is because we see that the user experience with NADABAS is good, because it's been tested and used now since 2004 and it's been working. That's why we want to make to showcase it so others all can see it. And then also, of course, a big thank you to all the participants. And I think it's great to see such a huge turnout. So we're happy that you can all participate. And of course, a big thank you to the interpreters, because today we really managed to invite also have different languages with the interpreters. I think they've done a good job for us. So that was very good for me, which doesn't speak French or Portuguese. And then I want to also say, for the future, of course, we have been picking up here before now that some of you also want to have some training or some further training. We have maybe a demand for those who are the new users who want to learn from the basic, but also for those who are users. So this we are looking into how we can support and how we can have maybe smaller groups where people are already using it and want to go more advanced. And we're looking into this, as Lars was saying, the training of trainer is one of those activities which we had aimed to have earlier on, but which is on hold until we can see if we can do it in this winter. And then just to say finally then that I think also what this package, which will be shared with you, for those who feel that they don't really quite understand the whole NADABAS yet, it's a very good opportunity to go in and look and explore on it yourself. So you will be able to quickly, you can download and to install this NADABAS yourself. And I think you can also look at this, the demo package shows very well how it works when it's up and ready. So together with the practice set and the demo package, I think it's a very good, easy to understand better how NADABAS works for those who are new to this. So I encourage you to test this if you're interested to learn more. So that's all from me. I think it's been very useful, and thank you very much again, particularly to Samson for organizing this, and thank you to everyone else.
Thank you very much, Jan, for this very good, interesting word, and also to Lashuan, and then also to Soren and Jan Redibi, who are since AU South Africa to organize this 2-day workshop on NADABAS, and then as mentioned by Lashuan and Jan, so we further action now is to how to organize this training of trainer so that we can have full of it, because now currently I think Soren and Redipi is one of the key trainers, so we want to have more trainer on NADABAS. So we need to organize as soon as possible when the situation will allow us that a training of trainer meeting on NADABAS. So having said that, I think we come to this end of this workshop. So on behalf of South Africa, I would like to thank you all colleagues who attend this workshop, especially my colleague also interpreter who assists us today to have an interpreter in English, French, and Portuguese. We apologize for our Arabic speaker, but we make sure that for the next workshop online again on NADABAS, we'll make sure that we bring also Arabic interpreter. So thank you very much, colleague, and have a good afternoon or good evening. And very soon you will hear from us for further activity of NADABAS. and either online activity or the training of a trainer meeting. But we'll very soon, I can assure you that we will hear from us. And then, as mentioned by Lash and Jen, please visit that website for NADABAS. And then any question, feel free to send to us. And then our experts, Ready B and Suran, they are always available to support you for any question regarding NADABAS. Thank you very much, and then see you soon. Au revoir.
Au revoir.
So, the meeting has ended. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.